you and I have very similar histories in a lot of ways, with a few distinctive differences that I think we can really nail. But you went to MIT. I didn't know that. You started off as an engineer.
Yeah.
What happened there? This is more of a creative pursuit.
It is. I was the science geek growing up. It was like the one thing I was good at. It was like math and science. And I was really introverted. And I just leaned into it because it was like the one thing I was good at. And my mom sent me to a magnet school in San Diego, which was white kids bussed into minority neighborhoods in order to learn like computer science. And so that's what I did. And I actually placed third in the California State Science Fair.
Wow.
And like that and like selling candy on the bus was like my ventures when I was a kid. And so engineering was exciting. And then my dad went to Caltech, was electrical engineer, and MIT was completely the other side of the country. I went to Caltech, there were no girls, and I was just like, Dad, how could you go here? And then I went
So you went to MIT for the chicks?
Well, I went to Boston maybe to get as far away from San Diego as possible.
Yeah.
But also because it was a cool town, and actually I stayed at a fraternity for one night, and I was like, this is night and day. I'm going to MIT.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went there and studied mechanical engineering for 4 years.
Oh, wow. So how did that lead then into banking? Because it sounds like you had a pretty promising trajectory as an engineer.
Yeah, I actually worked at Ford Motor Company one summer in Dearborn, Michigan. I lived in Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
And then I worked at the Aerospace Corporation 2 more summers in Los Angeles, working on like the Galileo space probe. And I was on track, but I looked at like the guys at Ford and I'm like, you're 45 years old, you're making 60 grand a year, and you just look like you're dead. And I just didn't want to be that guy. And like I said, when I was a kid, I used to like sell candy on the buses and have lemonade stands. And I was like kind of a little like capitalist kid.
Making like 32 selling candy. And you're like, I'm not going to do this every day for 60.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I had profit margins. And then I think I saw the movie Wall Street in college. And all of a sudden I was like, wow, this is exciting. And it's also kind of like engineering because you can see results right away and you can test these theories, and there was math behind it. And boom, all of a sudden I started taking classes at the Sloan School of Management. They let undergrads take classes there. Harvard won't do that. And I started taking classes there and started doing really well in like options theory. And you got these guys that had just come from like, 4 years at McKinsey or something, coming back, 26, don't know how a calculus works. And you got some 20-year-old kid that's just blowing them away. Yeah. And I was just like, I want to go to Wall Street. So that's what happened.
You look very Wall Street right now.
Yeah, the weird thing is I actually dress more now like a banker than I used to when I was in banking.
Sure.
Because towards the end of it, I was so sick of it. I would just like roll up in jeans and stuff like that. But now this is kind of like my London look.
Yeah, I like it. Different colored socks than yesterday.
I try to shake it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And again, this is like my whole like leadership role I've taken the last few years. So like there's a whole weird transformation that happens when I put a suit on. I'm kind of like the boss and the representer of what I do here. So yeah.
Somebody's got to lead this place, right?
That's true.
To greatness.
That's true.